sentencing you to 30 months felony probation, and the probation is going to be to this court. You're going to be allowed to travel wherever you want. You do not have to live in the state of Illinois. You can report by phone. I know that if you're going to try to make a living and do some of the things you do, you may have to go to other places, New York and Los Angeles. You can do those things. You will pay restitution to the city of Chicago in the amount of $120,106. You are fined $25,000, which is the maximum fine. And you will spend the first 150 days of your sentence in the Cook County Jail.
No, I would just like to say to Your Honor that I am not suicidal. That's what I was trying to say.
Okay.
I am not suicidal.
Okay.
I am not suicidal. I am innocent, and I am not suicidal. If I did this, then it means that I stuck my fist in the fears of Black Americans in this country for over 400 years and the fears of the LGBTQ community. Your Honor, I respect you and I respect the jury, but I did not do this, and I am not suicidal. And if anything happens to me when I go in there, I did not do it to myself, and you must all know that. I respect you, Your Honor. I respect your decision. Jail time. I am not suicidal. I am not suicidal.
Stop laughing about Black.
I am not suicidal, and I am innocent. I could have said that I was guilty a long time ago.
Absolutely shocking moments last night right here on Closing Arguments, all that happening. Unbelievable. Jussie Smollett went to the Cook County Jail. He has a new mugshot picture, and, you know, obviously doesn't look happy. Shouldn't look happy. He's going to jail for 150 days. Also, we've got a statement from the sheriff. You know, what is life going to be like for Jussie Smollett? And again, it's different. You know, for someone who has lived the life that he's been living the last several years. I mean, super successful guy, making millions of dollars. I mean, it's a much different life in jail. Here's what the sheriff says. Mr. Smollett is not being held in solitary confinement. The use of solitary confinement was abolished at the Cook County Jail in 2016, and any claims that he's being held in this manner are false. Mr. Smollett is being housed in his own cell, which is monitored by security cameras in the cell and by an officer wearing a body-worn camera who is stationed at the entrance of the cell to ensure that Mr. Smollett is under direct observation at all times. As with all detained persons, Mr. Smollett is entitled to have substantial time out of his cell in the common areas on the tier where he is housed, where he's able to use the telephone, watch television, and interact with the staff. During such times out of the cell, other detainees will not be present in the common areas. So it looks like he's going to have some level of protective custody inside the Cook County Jail. Let's bring back in our think tank, Bernardo Villalona, Philip Dubé, Brian Watkins. Brian, you know, as I'm watching this last night, I'm wondering, I got to do this tomorrow night because I got to know what Brian thinks of what just happened in that court. What's your analysis of what happened in that moment as he's being sentenced?
I think he may be suicidal. I don't know. To have an outburst like that in court for, you know, after you've been sentenced, you know, I don't even know what to say. I mean, if I was his lawyer, I would have grabbed him by the neck and put his head down on the desk and told him to shut up. You know, and this is, of course, he wants to appeal this situation, but this is not a good showing for him. And yet he's still getting, you know, special treatment because he's getting protective custody for pretty much no reason. You know, I know celebrities sometimes get protective custody, but I don't know what the reason he'd be receiving protective custody is. He committed a crime. He goes to jail like everybody else. He should, at least.
Philip Dubé, your thoughts about what happened to Jussie Smollett, the sentence, the Cook County treatment that he's getting?
I actually called 90 days. So, you know, to go from 3 to 5 months is probably reasonable under the circumstances. Now, I think he tried to treat that jail as if it were like theater in the round. This was his moment in time. He's like Lady Macbeth there, out damn spot. You know, to let the world know that he is the next great actor, that he is that masochistic, narcissistic Jussie Smollett who made that grand exit going off to his jail cell. Now, to be fair, It was misdemeanor conduct. In most jurisdictions, when you make a false report and nobody is arrested as a result of it, you might end up with a little probation without any jail time. But in the state of Illinois, apparently it is a felony. To get 5 months when your exposure is 3 years, frankly, is probably a gift.
Bernarda, what was your take on everything that happened yesterday? It really went in a direction I was not expecting.
No, I got to tell you, Vinny, that I called it in December. I definitely thought that Jussie Smollett was going to receive some kind of prison sentence just because of everything that entailed of the crime itself, that he made it a hoax hate crime, as well as he made it a hoax having to deal with him being gay. And aside from that, also that the judge did not appreciate when he testified that he was not credible at all and made a mockery of the system. So I just knew that this judge was going to sentence him to jail. In addition, let's remember that this judge at no point during the trial or during the verdict allow cameras in the courtroom. But he made it a point during the sentencing to open up that courtroom so that sentence can be live and he can send to the world his message about this case and how he felt about it and how he felt about Jussie Smollett. Now, in regards to Jussie Smollett and his outbursts, I have to tell you this, my take on it. Number one, he was definitely shocked that he was sentenced to jail. It was like he wasn't prepared for it, or that his attorneys told him it's highly unlikely that he will be sentenced to jail, which is something I would not have told him. Aside from that, Jussie Smollett is scared of being in jail. Let's not forget, we hear about those cases of people that supposedly commit suicide in jail. Jeffrey Epstein, Sandra Bland. Jussie Smollett is telling you, look, if they tell you I committed suicide in jail, that did not happen. Believe it, it did not happen, and it needs to be looked into. But again, I think that the sentence of 150 days in jail is a bit extreme in this case. I wasn't expecting that length of time.
So in this case, it was kind of unique. The victim was really the city of Chicago. So the mayor had a statement afterwards, Mayor Lori Lightfoot. She said, the criminal conviction of Jussie Smollett by a jury of his peers in today's sentencing should send a clear message to everyone in the city of Chicago that false claims and allegations will not be tolerated. The malicious and wholly fabricated claims made by Mr. Smollett resulted in over 1,500 hours of police work that cost the city over $130,000 in police overtime. The city feels vindicated in today's ruling that he's being held accountable and that we will appropriately receive restitution for his actions. You know, Brian, this whole thing I mean, originally, it was the strangest prosecution when the original prosecutor, Kim Fox, had the case before they brought in the special prosecutor, where Jussie Smollett it was just like everything was dismissed. And I think he did maybe a community service and gave $10,000 to someone. I don't know who. But it had a strange procedural history. Do you feel like he was targeted because he was a celebrity in the end, or was this just justified as to what should happen to someone who reports and creates a fake hate crime?
You know, it's both. You know, he was targeted because he was a celebrity, but on the other hand, this case is so big and everybody knew about this hoax because he was a celebrity. If the average person out there files a false police report, it doesn't affect the city in any way, shape, or form. It doesn't cost $1,500 or, $15,000 out, man hours and $130,000 on overtime pay when your average citizen, lies to the police and creates a false police report. So the fact that he wanted the attention to this hoax is what brought him the attention and brought him that 150-day jail sentence. You want the attention, you're going to get it. You're going to be made an example of. And that's what happened. That's what the judge did.
Message was sent. All right.